So, hello and welcome back. What do you think of this statement? Uh, I am humble and proud of it. Is there a good kind of proud? Is there a good kind of humble? So, we're looking into that today. We have this feeling of humility in that you live really cheaply, kind of badly. So, you live in this old, beat up apartment because it's cheaper. Or can you live in style? Can you live in a nice apartment, a nice house, and still be humble? So, what does humility mean? Do I really have to live cheaply? Can I not enjoy a nice restaurant once in a while? I heard some religious men ate one meal a day, and they did that while rocking back and forth and meditating, and they were called holy. Is that what it means to be humble? You never get to enjoy life at all? So, what does humility mean? Let's learn together.
Proverbs chapter 3, verses 33 to 35. Yahweh's curse is in the house of the wicked, but he blesses the habitation of the righteous. Surely he mocks the mockers, but he gives grace to the humble. The wise will inherit glory, but shame will be the promotion of fools. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 33. The fear of Yahweh teaches wisdom. Before honor is humility. Proverbs chapter 16, verses 18 to 19. Pride goes before destruction, and an arrogant spirit before a fall. It is better to be of a lowly spirit with the poor than to divide the plunder with the proud. Proverbs 22:4. The result of humility and the fear of Yahweh is wealth, honor, and life. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 23. A man's pride brings him low, but one of lowly spirit gains honor. Matthew chapter 11, verse 29. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Matthew chapter 18, verses 1 to 4. In that hour the disciples came to Jesus, saying, Who then is greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Jesus called a little child to himself and set him in the middle of them, and said, Most certainly I tell you, unless you turn and become as little children, you will in no way enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whoever therefore humbles himself as this little child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Matthew chapter 23, verses 11 to 12. But he who is greatest among you will be your servant. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Luke chapter 14, verses 10 to 11. But when you are invited, go and sit in the lowest place, so that when he who invited you comes, he may tell you, Friend, move up higher. Then you will be honored in the presence of all who sit at the table with you. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Luke chapter 18, verses 11 to 14. The Pharisee stood and prayed to himself like this: God, I thank you that I am not like the rest of men, extortionists, unrighteous, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give tithes of all that I get. But the tax collector, standing far away, wouldn't even lift up his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, God, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but he who humbles himself will be exalted. Romans 12:16. Be of the same mind one toward another. Don't set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble. Don't be wise in your own conceits. James 4:6. But he gives more grace. Therefore it says, God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. 2 Chronicles chapter 34, verses 26 through 28. But to the king of Judah, who sent you to inquire of Yahweh, you shall tell him this: Yahweh, the God of Israel, says about the words which you have heard. Because your heart was tender, and you humbled yourself before God, when you heard his words against this place and against its inhabitants, and have humbled yourself before me, and have torn your clothes, and wept before me, I also have heard you, says Yahweh. Isaiah chapter 29, verses 19 to 20. The humble also will increase their joy in Yahweh, and the poor among men will rejoice in the Holy One of Israel. For the ruthless is brought to nothing, and the scoffer ceases, and all those who are alert to do evil are cut off. Isaiah 57:15. For the high and lofty one who inhabits eternity, whose name is holy, says, I dwell in the high and holy place, with him also who is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble, and to revive the heart of the contrite. Psalm chapter 9, verses 12 to 13. For he who avenges blood remembers them. He doesn't forget the cry of the afflicted. Have mercy on me, Yahweh. See my affliction by those who hate me, and lift me up from the gates of death. Psalm chapter 10, verse 17. Yahweh, you have heard the desire of the humble. You will prepare their heart. You will cause your ear to hear. Psalm chapter 22, verses 25 to 26. My praise of you comes in the great assembly. I will pay my vows before those who fear him. The humble shall eat and be satisfied. They will praise Yahweh who seek after him. Let your hearts live forever. Psalm 25:9. He will guide the humble in justice. He will teach the humble his way. Psalm chapter 37, verses 10 to 11. For yet a little while, and the wicked will be no more. Yes, though you look for his place, he isn't there. But the humble shall inherit the land, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. Psalm 147, 6. Yahweh upholds the humble. He brings the wicked down to the ground. Psalm chapter 149, verses 3 to 5. Let them praise his name in the dance. Let them sing praises to him with tambourine and harp. For Yahweh takes pleasure in his people. He crowns the humble with salvation. Let the saints rejoice in honor. Let them sing for joy on their beds. James chapter 4, verse 10. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he will exalt you. 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 5 to 6. Likewise, you younger ones, be subject to the elder. Yes, all of you clothe yourselves with humility, to subject yourselves to one another. For God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. May God add blessing on the reading of his word. So I was thinking today about social media. Shouldn't I be more active on social media? But then I was also thinking about humility. How can you be humble on social media, like Twitter or Instagram or any of those other social media outlets? Because the whole point of social media is to get likes and retweets and attention. So how can you remain humble while you're on social media? So let's see today, what does God say about humility?